from Third Mutual, we want to welcome Reza Karimi. Nailed it. First Vice President of the board over there, and thank you for joining us. We have a big projects coming up, actually underway right now, and upcoming ones also. It's called the Prior to Paint program. Tell us about how you guys the origins of all this, how it all came to be.
Yeah. When the building, because we have to inspect the buildings, especially 3-story buildings, for the dry rots and damage to the woods. And when we do that, they have to go around the building. The buildings are shrubs around it. So the maintenance construction going to go and, walk through those shrubs and damage those and then get to the building. And the building going to be done, depends on the extent of damage. It's going to take a while for it to be fixed and then painted. And then everything around it was damaged. Then the landscape after that had to come, and it was very long period of time that things were messy around the building.
And so you recognize that this was an issue, and this is something that was ongoing. We needed maybe something to remedy this, right?
Yeah. In order to do that, we said, okay, we're going to put a program together, which is called Prior to Paint program, which means the coordination between the maintenance and construction group and the landscaping group. So they come up with a schedule, how they're going to do it. In this process, we talk about what the benefits are. We see the benefits is address the water flow around the building. There's one of the issues, the grading around the building.
And that can be a huge problem, especially if it's draining to the building, to the foundation.
Absolutely, and that's where the damages usually are because of the water intrusion. And then we're going to remove all the plants around the building, and that's reduce the maintenance because we're going to replace it with a drought-resistant tolerance. We're going to put the plants now pretty much away from the building because right now a lot of plants are close to the building, and the sprinkler system water the walls and everything rather than watering plant. So it's going to be designed better, and then we're going to save water because when we put the drought tolerance plant in there, we're going to change the watering system.
So
we're going to go to drops.
Would be like more, the drip systems and things like that?
Exactly. Okay. That saves for that. And then these plants going to be low maintenance. That's going to help with the landscaping and all of that. Then what is the process? Because there is a lot of coordination now between the...
Now, how did you, first of all, in terms of all the benefits you talk about, what time did it take you to kind of come up with this in terms of here's what we're going to do and here's why we're going to do it, and explaining to the residents?
A couple of years ago, that was the discussion that we're doing the paint and we're doing after that, we go and have to do this. Then the prior board came up with with the idea, okay, if we combine the two programs, when we do, building maintenance, we do the plant, we do the landscaping first, remove everything, let them have good access to the building, and then we come back and put the plant. We killed, two birds with one shot, and that's how it come together, and that was a very good idea. But it needed a lot of coordination and cooperation. And that's the execution part of it is very important. The idea was great. It had a lot of benefits, and now it comes to the execution.
Yeah. And one of the most important things I know residents are always concerned with is cost savings, right? And so
Absolutely.
with the drought-tolerant plants, with moving away, you're going to have a lot of maintenance you're not going to have to do anymore.
Those are all the benefits, direct and indirect benefit that we get. It's going to look nice also after that. It's going to be pretty.
We want that.
Yeah. So the process is that first we have to notify the residents in the building that's what's going on, because it's going to be a period of time that around the building is going to be construction site. And that's not very, sightly for people.
There's going to be the noise, there's going to be the inconvenience, it's going to be scaffolding around, things like that.
The first couple of, the project that we did last year, there was complaint about the communication, about what's this, because there's lack of information. They know what the process is, how long it takes, and you have to remove something in order to build something. And that's why we're removing. It's not sightly. It's not, if people don't like it, but they have to wait to see what the result is, because these things we have to do anyway.
And every structure is a different structure, so you guys have to walk them all, have to go to every single one and take a look, In terms
Some of them take longer than the others, because the extent of the damage to the building, when we open up the walls and you see if there's a lot of damage, it's going to take much longer time. So we have to notify that, these are the process that we put in place with both maintenance, construction, and landscaping to notify the residents, conduct a walkthrough by both departments, and then we do the landscape removal before the construction start.
Right.
And then we do the prior to pay, we repair the buildings, and then we paint the building, and the landscaping come back, and then put the new drought tolerance plant and new watering system.
Right.
Those are the process.
Yeah, and then these are kind of are these general numbers? Like, hey, sometimes this only takes a week because there wasn't as much.
That's why it's a range.
So there's a range.
There's
there,
a range.
Right.
It depends on the extent of the damage to the building. The construction part of it is that it won't take a lot of time. And if people go around the neighborhood, there are some areas that they're putting these new tolerant, the drought tolerant plants. They look nice. They can go and look at them. And those are areas that they do. And actually, one is in Gate 10. If you go in there, they're putting a lot of new plants right now in there, right at the entrance of Gate 10. When you go, you see that the project is happening.
Right.
That is just getting, because there is another program that we have to do in the long run, which is the turf removal, the non-functional turf.
Right.
Any turf that we use potable water, which for third is Gate 14 and Gate 11. We have potable water. We have to remove non-functional turf, and the date is by 2020, but by 2030 we have to do that. This program also helped that, because if they're non-functional turf removing, that helps that program also at the same time. Again, exactly.
Absolutely.
And then we talk about the benefit of the program, and now the scheduling is the key.
Yeah, the notification process, just so that communication is super clear and through multiple fronts.
Yeah, because when we look at the notification, we talk about this is our schedule, and we try to stick with the schedule so members know what's happening around the building. We say 45 days before landscaping removal, resident will receive a letter via email or mail that this program for your building is starting.
Right.
And then 7 days before landscape removal, the contractor placed door hangers. So, okay, if we are going and removing the plant, don't come and complain that somebody's taking our plant. We are working.
Someone stole my shrub.
Yeah, exactly. 7 days before building repair begins, notice is posted on the mailbox and residence door. 7 days, so people get ready if they want to do anything, if they had another plan.
Right.
And 7 days before the painting begins, also notice posted. And 2 weeks before painting is completed, we notify the residents.
And this notification process is an important one, right? Because because residents some people just aren't as dialed in, or they aren't paying as much attention. So the constant communication really kind of helps tamp down the concerns, complaints, and worries, right?
Because we say about we go on TV6 and talk about it, we put it in the breeze. A lot of people don't say that, but the hanger on the door. Okay, it's
hard
coming.
to avoid.
You cannot miss that unless you don't go inside your unit. So, and then rebuilding walk is about I think 2 weeks prior to landscape removal. There is a walkthrough by the landscaping. Right. They go there and check everything. They drainage, the gutter, all of that. They evaluate the trees around the building, what they need to be done with the trees and all of that. We have arborists. They're going to look at all of those options.
Right, and those things are going to be addressed. And if there's concerns in any of those areas, they're going to be addressed. And that's why we have that kind of span, hey, there might be a lot to do here, or maybe a little bit to do here.
Absolutely. And then there are phases. The phase one is landscaping, because they have to go around the building now. After all of these things that we talked, they have to go and remove the shrub. They remove all the plants and the dirt, the rough graded area. They're going to do all of that and modify the drainage requirement, everything. The landscape part is done first for removal.
Right.
So it's not going to be unsightly, because now there is nothing but dirt around the building. And now the worst one is started, which means the construction.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the part that some people they'll look at that image on the screen and say that's going to be like that for the next 5-6 weeks, because there's so much more has to be done, because you don't want to replant and then start trampling when you're going in and out and doing the painting.
I have news. It's going to be more than 4 or 5 weeks. It's going to be 3 to 4 months, because depending on the damage to the building, it takes a lot of time to remove remove everything and grade everything, and now the construction is started. When you open the wall, you don't know what the extent of damage is.
Right.
It can be a little damage, it can be a big damage. If it is, you're going to take much time, more time to fix that. But as soon as they fix that, then landscaping come back. But all of those going to be communicated.
Right.
And that's why there is a range, 3 to 5 weeks or 2 to 4 weeks, and all of that we talk about. That's what we give it a range, because we don't know the damage until we open the walls.
Right, and you guys know it's unsightly too.
Yeah.
You want to get this done as fast as you can,
Yeah.
which is going to be a little bit of pain for some residents for a little while.
Yeah. So now that the landscaping done their part and remove all the plant and the grading, they are not putting any water system in there for drip waters. Now we go to the paint side, which they're going to open the wall, the dry rot, the termite damage, structural damage, stucco damage, gutter system, all of that. Now they're going to fix all of that, work on all of that, and that's the MSC. And when they're done, the next step is to do the painting. Now paint.
Now, are they going to need access to houses to do some
All
of
the
this?
access is going to be secured, unless there are stairs that going to be needed repair. They're going to we're going to assign a different route in order to fix that. For example, if balconies have dry rots that need to be fixed, they cannot use the balcony till it's all fixed.
Folks won't be able to use the balcony, but the workers won't be coming in and out of the house. So they'll kind of use the little cherry pickers to get on the balcony.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So they won't.
It all depends on the type of damage and extent of damage and how long it takes and what kind of access you have. Everything. So. All I'm saying to the members, please bear with us. Let us do this job right for you.
Right, and there's a lot of, there are a lot of little bullet points on here. All the things you guys are taking care of, damage repair, and then replacements of these things. So there's going to be a lot going on, and they're going to see a little bit of a mess, and it's going to be a little bit of noise, and
it's unsightly. I understand that because when we started is because we tried to communicate, but I think it wasn't really the way that everyone wants it to understand.
Right.
And they were complaining, it's been here for 2 months, it's been here for 1 month. You see what's happening. Here is a construction site for a while till it's all get done. And when we do all the construction, then we do the painting. And when the painting is done, now the landscape can come back and install all the irrigation system, install the plant material, and and now we're going to put, rather than the sprinkler system, we put the dripping system in there to save water, and these are all water tolerance. And we have plans for what we do. It's not helter-skelter that this plan goes here. There are plans for everything. If members want to see those, they can talk to when the landscaper come in. They can see this is what it's going to look like. We have some design.
So the grade and the look of the landscape will be different, but that's also in terms of for the drainage and for a lot of things that happen there. So it's going to maybe look a little bit different, but it's going to be on the better side of those things.
Absolutely. It's the beautification is part of it, and that's at the end, the members should enjoy what has happened, and they have a much good-looking building around the building, at least on the landscaping side of the building.
Now, once that's done, we go to a 90-day maintenance cycle. Explain to folks what that's all about.
Yeah, the 90-day maintenance cycle is because now the plants have to be taken care of. You cannot just put it in there and leave it. You have to keep continually looking at it, going and maintaining it and make sure. And the building need to be inspected several times for all the work that is done. We put that period in there that we stay in contact with that building, both the building itself and around it. Make sure everything is proper. Everything taken care of. If somebody have complained or anything, that's the period that we're going to fix everything.
And those are just natural things that happen, right? Hey, this was missed. This isn't working quite as they expected. And those are just the natural things, and those things can be fixed.
If you've done any construction, you know that.
Yes, I recently had painting done, and we went to the
wish list that that happens. Yeah. So when after that, when the landscaping is done, then I think you can take the photo and put it in your Facebook. It should look nice. Now, and then the buildings that are going to be starting, I'm just going to tell you, these are the building in progress. The building, these are all 3-story building. 4003, 4008, 4016, and 4017. They're in progress. And the remaining for 2025 are building 4009, 4015, 4018, and 4024. And There are a limited number of buildings we can do that because, again, it depends on the extent of damage. There is a lot of. We're putting a lot of money into this program, and we're hoping that the return on investment is good, both visually and financially and economically. I mean, the return should be pretty good for the buildings.
Right.
And there's some of the photos before and after. Yeah, there are different designs.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. And there's the before on the left there with the kind of the red plants in the middle there, and this is a very nice clean out. And you know, it gets all those plants away from the building. We're not watering the plants on the building and that kind of thing.
And look at the maintenance. I mean, if it was just the turf here, you have to come every week during the summertime, growth time. But these are now very low maintenance, very beautiful, very nice. It's going to bring a lot of value to the building. And as I said, there are different designs for different areas.
Right.
You know, the areas that have water drainage.
Yeah, and here's the drainage kind of shot for one that was improved, and you can see that the grading is actually going towards the rocks and towards the drain instead of bowing out and going part to the building, part away. Yeah. So that's definitely an advancement there.
Yeah, look at the before. It's kind of sad looking. Look at the after. I think it looks nicer. It's more, the less water goes to the building, and drainage system is nice. And I think the whole purpose of it is to make our community more visually good for for our members, and do this program as economically possible as we can. Because joining the two together now and managing it that way is going to help us a lot to save money and save time.
What has this process been like for you as a board member, kind of putting this together and working on all the kinks as you've gone?
Well, all we do, we just talk about the program, but our staff really are the key. And they're the one that are in the field. They're the one that's going to perform this. And in the last MNC meeting, which I chaired, I brought both landscape and MNC to discuss their coordination, because it's very important these two departments work together very closely. Now each department have a kind of project managers that working together, coordination, information, communication. I cannot emphasize on communication, communication, because that's where if we shortfall, the members don't know. What you don't know, is the one that you keep questioning. What's happening here? So they are working really hard. I really appreciate what they're doing. They really work hard to get this program going forward, and in a timely and very cost-saving and efficient manner. And I appreciate that for them. So the coordination between
you're supposed to be retired. You really do. you put in a lot of effort in. What's it? Why do you serve the way you do, and why do you continue to keep on serving on different boards
This is where I live. Yeah. I done my job before, get paid for it. I'm here to live. I want to enjoy this community. I'm still can do a job, and I did a lot of major program management for Department of Defense, and I love it. And this is now my time to spend with my community, help my community, and make sure, because all the money that we spend, it comes out of our money, out of our pocket. So if I can do anything better, I'm serving myself and I'm serving my community. Both.
There you go, and making our community more beautiful.
Exactly.
Reza Karimi, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. I appreciate the time, and I hope that any of the members that have any question, please join either the MNC committee meeting or landscaping meeting. The MNC committee meeting, there is one on March 3rd at 1:30 in the boardroom, and there is a landscaping meeting on March 6th at 9:30 in the boardroom.
There we go.
Please join us in there.
Come on in there.
Give us your thoughts.
Ask the questions. You'll get some answers. I know Reza has the answers.
I don't have all the answers, but I promise that I will find the answers.
You'll work on it. All right.
That's my job.
Working for third as good man. He's got to get to a meeting right now, so we're going to let him go here pretty quick. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Thank you.